YouTube, what's going on, man? What's going on? We're back with another live stream. Um, in New York session. No, I know we're 8 minutes late to the party. Um, but right now we're looking at GBP USD on the 5 minute chart. We could see what happened here. Starting last night, actually last week into today. We kind of created like this support here. Um, which just so happens to fall within this price gap. So there's a lot of transferring of liquidity going on here in this price gap. Um, we're gonna have to see what they do. I would say this is the real zone that they're trying to break through. But to simplify it, we can look here, and this is what we're waiting to see what goes on. Which also happens to be yesterday's low. And we're respecting it. Yo, what's good, bro? Um, so if we're gonna look for any type of trade, obviously if we're going short, we want to see it break below yesterday's low and give a retest. Um, and if there's anything going long, we'd obviously have to break this top side here, give us a retest, which actually would be nice because then we can go ahead and stop hunt London, the London buys. I mean, my fault, the London sells. Um, so we'll just have to see what we get here. Whether we break above or we break below. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, drop in the comments, let me know what you're trading. Let me know what you're seeing. Feel free to also send a link of your trading view chart. That's perfectly fine. And we can look it over. Euro USD. I mean, yeah, this on the higher time frame this looks trash. There's really no clear direction. At least for me to gauge. And it's just not something that I like right now on any time frame. US 30. Now if you guys do follow me on Instagram, I did post a cut up where we would, do a false breakout. Now, the only thing that didn't happen in this scenario is, I said we'd get a false breakout and a stop hunt to create a new high. That would be the false breakout and then clear the lows. Um, Instead, we got into the zone here. Um, didn't stop hunt to make a new high. We didn't even stop hunt this high here. We got short by a pip. Um, and then came back down. So just with the fact that we didn't make a new high and we didn't stop hunt the previous high, that tells me we're gonna go higher. This is indeed most likely a fake out short to go long again. I mean, and they do need buyers here in this area. We have an actual gap in price here, um, which, I think they're gonna want to go get, because if they don't, they're ultimately going to be really long. But all in all, US 30 is just consolidating. There's really nothing going on. Um, just collecting liquidity to go up or down. I got in a tight buy for GU. Um, yeah, I mean, I can see where you got in the buy. It's just no real high probability with that, but that's like the only thing. Like, yeah, sniper entries are cool, but that it's just like it's not worth the pain of juggling between is it gonna work or is it not? Um, it's just better to really eliminate that guesswork. Now I told myself, I was going to start doing even if even if there's no trade setup or idea, at least an hour a day of live streaming. Just to build that consistency and building a following. Because I do have something planned in the future. Um, which I can't talk about right now, but it's going to be pretty dope. So yeah, just an hour a day, setup or no setup, because a lot of the times I want to get on mainly, I didn't see anything. But that doesn't help grow the channel at all if I don't get on. Um, you know, we'll just have to see, because maybe things could play out. Um, I see we could go long here with GU in terms of, we're respecting yesterday's low. We just have to break above and retest. But the only thing I don't like is the fact that we're building in these lows here, right? Like this is almost a perfect triple bottom, um, which screams to me W trap, um, and the fact that we've kind of set in these lows in the middle of nowhere, like there's no support, right? If we were to build in that support here, you know, that would have made more sense. We've and granted, we talked about there being a price gap here, which makes sense because they need to transfer liquidity. They just can't choose a side right now. Um, but like I said, like to build in support there in the middle of nowhere, that's a little sus to me. Um, if anything, it's going to be a fake out long potentially to just clear the lows. That's what I think could happen. Um, but if we do break and we get a retest to go long, that's still a nice scalp. Just up to London's highs. Right up here. That's cool. We'll just have to wait and see, depending on how clean the opportunity is. It's a Monday. I'm not really going to chase anything or if it's, to lack of better words, if it's not clean, I'm not taking it. Um, just because I don't like how these lows are being set. Let's actually see for a second what's dollar doing here. Um, Interesting. So the interesting thing about dollar is we've got to this low, right? This is a low I wanted to see, potentially become support. We broke below, and now we came back above for a retest. It could either be that, or this is just a pullback to continue short. Because ultimately, what I want to see, um, is these equal lows get cleared. That's what I really want to see, right? Now, you can see to the top side, we couldn't get to the yearly high. Instead, we got to the wick fill, which is perfectly fine. Um, this low isn't I mean, if you wanted to count this wick here, yeah, I guess you can say these are equal lows. Um, Now it looks like we're experiencing a little bit of a pullback for dollar. Uh, Looking at how on Friday how the candle closed, kind of made a rebound, and today it looks like we set the low of the day, and now we're going on to make our high. Um, so ultimately, what could be happening here is, let me get my draw tool. Ultimately, what could be happening here is we get a pullback just to continue lower, um, or we're just going higher. You know what I mean? It really all depends. But yeah, dollar had an interesting bullish run back up and a break and retest, so we'll see. Guys, I'll be back in just 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Looks like GDU is approaching that resistance there. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, and it collapsed. Didn't collapse, but you know what I mean, it just turned bearish here. Yeah. 15 just looks super shitty. And look, a lot of times, you know, you just got to be honest with yourself. You know, in times like this, uh, like if it looks shitty, it looks shitty. There's no way around it. Um, there's just nothing here with GU at all. Um, Now what I am looking for is for this H4 gap to get filled. Uh, Kind of wanted to pull back down to here, and then attack this daily gap here. And we look at the daily, we would get this pullback here, and then continue higher. And we would kind of get that inverse head and shoulders look, where you have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, to continue bullish. Like, you know, if I wanted the highest probability and just sat on my hands, this would be the only thing I'm waiting for on GU, for being honest. Like, not trading any intraday until it gets down to here. Michael, how do you find the gaps? It's fairly simple. It's just something you have to get your eye familiar to. But pretty much it's like any type of engulfing candle, right? Where wicks on the left or on the right side don't fill the engulfing candle, right? If we look at this candle here, let's look at this one as an example, right? Wicks do not come to fill either side. Or let's put it this way. There's space in between the engulfing, right? Right? There's no wicks to fill either side. So that's considered a gap, which price will fill. You see this engulfing? On the left side, you have a wick. On the right side, you have a wick. There's no space, right? The wicks cancel each other out. So that's not a gap. But they can be really small, right? Here, you put a box, see how they don't cancel? There's space there. That's a gap in price. That price is going to want to come down and fill. Same thing here, right? If you have an engulfing, there's space in between the wicks. That is a gap in price. That price is going to want to come and fill. Um, and yeah, it's just like that. But you have to use it with context, right? It's you know, because you can see them everywhere. Um, but they don't work everywhere, if that makes sense. Kind of have to find the flow in the chart and kind of make it make sense, right? Like in this case, okay, like, there's probably a million gaps that I can spot. Um, but what makes sense, right? If we were gonna pull back, okay, what gap is here that is left open? Well, here, price, the wicks kind of fill themselves, wicks fill themselves, wicks fill themselves, opening. Okay, so I can potentially see a pullback there. To the upside, right? If we were to come up, kind of as like a resistance. Okay, well, it makes sense. Well, the only gap that we have open is here. So that makes sense as like a resistance. It's really just a more accurate way of getting support and resistance zones. And to see what I mean, right? Like this here is a gap. If I drop down to H4, you see how it kind of looks like old resistance becomes new support, where we break and retest that gap. Um, Now what we'd be looking for is price to come into that gap and either act as support or becoming new resistance at the break and retest. And I mean, just looking at GU on a higher time frame perspective, um, I think we're going to clear these lows and come down to here today. Let's see if we can break above. Okay, good bullish run there. We've broken through. Yo, good morning, PJ. Good morning. Right at bond open. Let's bull run on bond open. So I mean, if we get a pullback, that would be a nice long trade. Mm. Man, like US 30's cool. The only thing I don't like is how quick you could lose your money. I mean, you can make it really fast, don't get me wrong. And I have. But I don't know, I'd rather lose my money slow with ease. Like, let me take my L slowly. This is kind of just like, straight uppercut to the face, like, yeah, you just lost 1K in a matter of 2 minutes. So go deal with it. That's what US 30 is. Um, and that hurts. Like when it just happens so quick, it's like, damn, give me a chance. Just ASAP, showing me the L I took. Um, but it's definitely a cool pair. Uh, Me personally, I like seeing. I have to get used to it, right? I've only traded it like twice. Um, but just doing the markups, seeing how it moves, seeing how it functions. I like this double bottom that they've made here. I think it's gonna want to get cleared just based off where we're coming from. And we've come right off this gap here. All right, so right now we got Euro USD bullish, GJ bullish, GBP USD bullish, um, dollar bearish. So everything is, in its correct order now. Um, we have some medium impact news in about 20 minutes. We look here. Well, we have one in 5 minutes, and then 20 minutes. Everything else should be rolling out. We have manufacturing in 20 minutes as well. So it looks like things are probably gonna hold until about 10 o'clock, but we'll see. And for those wondering where I get my news from, my FX book. Ooh. Get right in here. Put our stop loss here. Targeting these highs. Let's see. Can we get it? So we've broken that small resistance. Now we're getting a pullback to the gap if we can. Come on. Just need to get. I just need to get that black line right there. This one right here. 50%. If it doesn't get there, the trade wasn't meant to be. Mhm. Ooh, US 30 reaching that, looks like it might make a push for that all-time high. It's broken and retested here. But we'll see what it's gonna do. This could still be the fake out to reach its all-time high. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, it didn't come back and touch 50%. Um, and so that's why I didn't take it. But when you're this like strict on it, like it has to hit 50%, doesn't matter. Um, I've seen it too many times, you know what I mean? Um, and that's really the only way I take trades. Like it has to hit 50% of a price gap. I don't care what it is. It has to hit it. The fact that it didn't, you know, we've missed that trade. Kind of treat it as if like, if I had to go somewhere and I put a pending order at 50% of this price gap, like it wouldn't have put me in. Just gotta look at it that way. Actually want to see what GU does here. Right at the close of the week.